Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli with Blue, and that's right, continuing on with the reviewing classic live-action Disney films, and, as we stated in our last review of Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and yes, this is after this one, after King of the Wild Frontier, Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. And remember in our last review, because you noticed this, that, we should have, whipped out the coonskin hat and worn it. Well, finally did, so, and for this review, so...
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fitting because Davy Crockett, and had the tail so you can see.
Still alive?
No. Nope, it's a hat.
Okay.
But, okay, so the River Pirates, because this is actually, and as Little Blue established, because, you can repeat if you want to, because after the third episode, because they killed off Davy Crockett too quick.
Yeah, they killed him off too quick. Davy Crockett had just turned into a mania across the country.
And one of Disney's best characters.
Kids wearing coonskin caps, running around with toy muskets and just, And so Walt Disney Studios are like, what are we going to do now? We've killed off a beloved character, in Disney. And so they decided to go back and tell more stories, untold stories of Davy Crockett, which was neat because then you got to see more of it. And so they took you back before he fought and died at the Alamo. So
Exactly.
This is where Davy Crockett and the Riverboat Pirates comes about. It was a great movie. There was a lot of colorful characters in it. Not to mention Jeff York played Mike Fink.
Yeah, he's greatest Mike Fink.
Oh,
King of the River.
Yeah, he was great in that. And there's a really good storyline that goes with this movie. But it's
2 episodes. It's 1.
Exactly. And Davy Crockett and Georgie Russell are going down. They're going down the Mississippi River. They're going to New Orleans, but they've gotten all these furs, and they've gone out fur trapping, and they've gotten all these furs. So they're going to take the furs down river and sell them. They got to find a fast way down river. So they figure riverboat is the easiest way to do it, and they're trying to hire a riverboat to take them down river, and Mike Fink wants $1,000, which $1,000 back then would have been like $1 million today. So they were probably closer to like $500,000 or something like that. But they don't do it. They end up hiring another riverboat, and they get into a little bet with Mike Fink and his crew.
Yeah, Mike Fink and a couple of his crew. They get Georgie drunk and basically accidentally challenge to a boat race.
Exactly. Which they do, and of course, Davy Crockett prevails.
Yep.
And it's
Davy Crockett and the others. They succeed on winning.
They do. But what's really great is with any of the Davy Crockett movies that you see, the enemy in the end becomes the friend.
Yeah,
and they become friends in the end.
Mike Fink wasn't really a bad guy or anything.
No, he
was just a goofy kind of guy. Just
a tough river guy.
Just messing with them.
Yeah, they
up until they become friends. That kind of stuff.
Davy Crockett has a way. His character has a way of winning over the enemy, and he does the same thing with Mike Fink and wins him over with kindness. And shows kindness to him and shows him respect, which is a good moral lesson.
Yeah.
And in the end, they become friends.
Yeah.
And in the and as the movie continues, as the plot unfolds, so to speak, the story unfolds. They have to. They're trying to uncover a robbery ring, if you will. It's a bunch of guys that are dressing up as Indians.
I was going to mention that there's these group of bad guys who dress up as Indians,
and they're trying to blame the attacks on the riverboats on the Indians.
Right.
So the Indians and the white people are getting ready to go back, are getting ready to go to war again.
Yeah.
Because of this, so Davy Crockett and Georgie Russell they team back up with Mike Fink and his crew. And
this is all in the second episode.
And they're able to uncover this plot, and they're able to basically get the bad guys.
Exactly. And the question is, because of Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, where does it take place exactly? Because it's supposed to take place before the Alamo, so just when exactly?
Well, it's... when exactly?
Yeah, because it's backstory and such.
Well,
and before the Alamo.
You're getting into history that I mean, it's...
It's all, I mean, I think because, it may not be true because of Davy Crockett meeting Mike. There may have been a time that they met and such, but it's like fiction and such,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Even in the song that plays in the opening, but most of his chores, got turned into legends, and this here's one. How they go, and
Well, the Battle at the Alamo took place between February 23rd,
Oh,
1836, and March 6th, 1836. So we are literally, today's date, this is being filmed, is the last day of February. So we would,
as we're recording this,
this would be, almost 200 years to the day that the Battle at the Alamo was being fought.
yeah.
So it's interesting that we're doing this review at this time, because the Battle of the Alamo almost 200 years ago was going on at this very time, because it went on between February 23rd and March 6th of 1836. And I have actually been to the Alamo.
That's right.
And it's very small. It's not what you'd think at all. You would think the Alamo would be it's not a big fortress at all. They portrayed it pretty well in the movie. In the Davy Crockett movie, it's just not a big fortress at all.
For first being an episode, and when taking the first 3 episodes into a movie.
Exactly. So but at the time that this takes place, it would have been probably early 1800s, probably around 1820, somewhere along in there maybe. But it seems to be that it's around Mississippi where it was taking place. It was definitely in the Deep South.
Yeah, and as you said, because very colorful characters,
Oh yeah,
and
throughout.
Some funny moments here and there,
Exactly.
as always, and some of the other characters, because
Captain Cobb.
played by
captain of the boat.
played by Clem Bevins.
Yeah, who was a character actor in a lot of movies back in that day, but he. Captain Cobb was the captain of the riverboat that Davy Crockett actually employed to take them downriver and to race against.
That's right.
Mike Fink and his riverboat crew.
Yeah, and the others there's one guy he played the banjo and such and singing and songs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
he didn't actually play the banjo. If you looked at that closely, they were showing close-up shots of a banjo player actually making the chords and playing. When they showed him at a distance, he wasn't even playing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
pretending
he was
something.
Pretending. You
say
could tell.
I would do this.
Yeah, anytime you see an old movie like that and they're showing close-up shots with the guitar or the banjo or whatever the instrument is, and they don't show the character, they show maybe part of their outfit and they show it up close and you'll see their face. I guarantee you that's the actor that's playing that part, they're not actually playing. They've got a stand-in doing the playing and they're shooting it up close. And it's back then it was believable. Now it's not, because audiences are too smart.
Even pay attention.
Audiences are too smart to he's not even playing that. It's like you go back and watch that old episode of The Guitar Player, the Andy Griffith Show. Why in the world they got the guy that played Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane? He played in 2 episodes of Andy Griffith as the guitar player, and was just a mean guitar player, but he couldn't even play. He wasn't even playing guitar. Why they got him? He was a good character. He was a good good actor, and it was a great character. But it was just, I don't know. That's just the way they did things back then. They just, the audience, they could make the audience believe. The audience accepted it. They don't accept it so easily anymore. Not in this CGI age.
No.
Nope.
Yep. And the other characters, one of Mike Fink's characters, Chucko,
Yes.
Georgie meets up with him and he mistakes him, tells him about what him and Davey are doing, but turns out he's one of Mike's crew.
Exactly.
And he's been played by Kenneth Tobey, who previously played another character in Davy Crockett. It was in the one with the Alamo.
Right.
He was the one that Jim, I don't know, he played the one who's kind of injured and such and couldn't walk.
Mm-hmm.
And something I forgot to point out, because in that episode of the Alamo, because we see him the soldiers, they're breaking into where he's in,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows he's going to die, but he's still letting them have it, by shooting them, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in this, because he plays Chucko, kind of a goofy character with a cigar and with a beard, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think I remember this. Fess Parker even said in an interview with Leonard Maltin that Chucko was one of Fess Parker's favorite characters.
Yeah.
You remember that too?
I remember that too, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and I think I could tell, yeah, because with the King of the Wild Frontier, with all 3 episodes put into one, And with this, the River Pirates, there were a few things that were cut. Do you think? Like, can you tell at least?
I can't really tell, 'cause it had been so long since I had seen those originally, or even on DVD. And then to go back and watch them, all I'll say is this: Disney did a nice job in the editing, in the flow of the story. You really don't miss anything.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Not most of the stuff is cut out, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They work so well because King of La Frontier and the River Pirates, they work so well when, you know, all the episodes being put together and turned into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another one, which being the Sign of Zorro.
Yes.
Which we will review that, of course. And yeah, just like with the Davy Crockett films, this was, you know, with the Sign of Zorro, episodes put into one. I can't remember how many episodes there were. I can check, but yeah, so you get the idea.
Yeah.
But
anyway, great movie. Loved it.
Yeah, and forgot to mention Fess Parker and Buddy Ebsen, they were great in this as well.
They're always great. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're definitely Disney's Davy Crockett and Georgie Russell.
Yeah, couldn't have picked a better sidekick for Davy Crockett than to have Buddy Ebsen play Georgie Russell.
And that one part where I forgot to mention this, Georgie is drunk and he's on top of a chandelier or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, falls. Yeah,
and yeah, causing the hook the screw to come off.
Exactly,
which is funny. So,
it was funny.
Yeah. So once again, Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, because it's great, and with again, it started off as 2 episodes and put into one, and it's really good.
It is very good.
Yep, and give this 10 out of 10, don't we?
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
And
absolutely.
2 thumbs up, of course.
2 thumbs up.
Yep. And you guys let us know. Excuse me. You guys let us know what you think of Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, and of course, you know, it is on Disney Plus, of course.
Yes.
And as we record this, we did watch it last night, and
Yes.
and we along with after that we then watched 20,000 Leagues.
Yes, we did.
Even though we reviewed it even though we did review it, still we watched it. You know.
Great movie. Love it.
Yep. So with 20,000 Leagues and Davy Crockett, they're one of Disney's gems. You know.
They are.
So again, 10 out of 10 for Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, and 2 thumbs up. You guys let us know. Again, you guys let us know what you think of Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. If you enjoy it, etc., just leave comments down below. Any last words?
Off out.
Yep. Little Blue says off out for me. Again, we hope you enjoyed our review of Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. More reviews on your way, and as well as continuing with the classic live-action Disney review marathon. And we'll see you guys in the next video / review. And up next, Little Blue's not going to be in the next ones, but he will later. Next one is Old Yeller, so...
Yeah. I swear that thing's moving. It's moving!
What a way to end off this review. Okay. Take care, guys, and peace out.